it going? Matthew Bailey Media here, and welcome to sort of another movie announcement type of video in a way. And I think I haven't done one of these in forever. I think the last one I actually did for a movie announcement and stuff was back in 2019, 2020 when I did when I was talking about the cast of what's his name? I think I was doing the cast announcements for both The Little Mermaid and Ghostbusters Afterlife around that time period. I think those were the last ones I ever really did, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I missed one, and I'll even check it myself after this video's been posted. But when it comes to this announcement, if you can't tell by the title of the video, which I'm actually really excited about this, that they are making a sort of nostalgic sequel, in a way, sort of revival to a franchise that I didn't think was going to be coming back, and that is, of course, a sequel known as Air Bud Returns. Yep, I'm not kidding. If y'all saw the videos because to be fair, I did in the last 5 years, I did post 2 different videos of me reviewing the first 2 Air Bud movies, which were Air Bud with the basketball and Air Bud Golden Receiver from when he played football. I might still do the other movies leading up to this film, but when it comes to this movie, I'm really looking forward to this because based on what I'm hearing, which we may look at a little article talking about this announcement as to what the plot summary is and I want to give my own theories as to what I think might happen in this movie. So let's get into the article about Air Bud Returns. Okay, guys. So as you can see in this article, it says Air Bud Returns announced set to release in summer of 2026. So this will be the mark around the 4th year that I've been living in this apartment. But let's scroll down a little bit and to read what it says. It says, one of America's favorite golden retrievers is returning to the hardwood. Cineverse and Air Bud Entertainment announced Thursday that a new feature film, Air Bud Returns, will be released in summer of 2026. And the film will be written and directed by Robert Vince, who, if y'all haven't seen a lot of the Air Buddies movies and a few of the Air Bud movies, he produced all he produced the original Air Bud, along with all the other films, and he directed pretty much every other Air Buddies movie, the Santa Paws franchise, everything else. So Vince called the film a unique story. It says this movie will engage nostalgic Air Bud fans while introducing a new generation to the beloved basketball-playing golden retriever Buddy, Vince said in a news release. It builds upon the legacy of the OG Air Bud with all the fun, the magic, heartwarming scenes, and Buddy playing basketball, of course. So here's where I think it gets interesting. So it says here, the plot is about a 12-year-old named Jacob who discovers an original VHS of Air Bud in his father's belongings while visiting his childhood home after his death. Jacob then meets a stray golden retriever he names Buddy. Together, the two embark on a journey of healing, unite a team of misfits, and chase the championship. Now, before I continue with this, if y'all listen to that plot summary, so apparently there's an original VHS of the original Air Bud in a childhood home of his father, who apparently must have passed away, or it says after his death, and the first thing that came to my mind is could his father possibly be the original boy Josh Fram? I'll explain that a little bit in a little bit. Okay, so as y'all heard me say in the last segment, and sorry if I have a change of shirt in this video, it's mainly because if y'all saw at the beginning of the video, I did have a green shirt on, but I had to change the shirt because of that green screen effect that y'all saw behind me. Because apparently it was blending my body in with the rest of the background, and I couldn't have that. But when it comes to, going back to what I was saying about that plot synopsis of a 12-year-old boy named Jacob is visiting the childhood home of his father, and there's an original VHS tape of the original film in his house. See, to me, it sounds like this is going to take place in Fernfield. And why else? So why else would there be a VHS of the original film in his home? You know what I think? I think that Jacob is the son of original Air Bud child Josh Fram, who we saw in basically 4 of the 5 original films, and then he was name dropped in the first Buddies movie with Air Buddies. And how he went to college and where they could learn and grow. And the thing that makes me, I'm really hoping that this does turn out to be the case, especially since Robert Vince is coming back to direct it. To me, it would make a lot of sense because he says it's going to appeal to a lot of the original Air Bud fans and still make the way for new generations to know who Buddy is. But when it comes to going back to the original fans, that would make the most sense, is to have Josh Fram, the original kid, be the one who's the father. And even though that means his character is dead in this universe, I still think having Josh Fram be the father of Jacob makes the most sense. And there are a couple of characters who could still come back in some way. Like you have his sister Andrea, and you have Noah. Let's not forget about Noah. The last time we saw him was in Snow Buddies, where it seemed, and that was also the last time we saw the original Buddy, or whatever, where when it came to him and Molly finally allowing his pups to like go off and do their own thing. And obviously we don't know whatever happened to those pups. Like maybe they'll eventually come back, who knows. But when it comes to this film, to me, I think, because to be fair, the first 5 Air Bud movies, along with the first Air Buddies movie, that's just called Air Buddies, all of those films were done by the same people who are doing this movie. And to be fair, Walt Disney only had a hand in Snow Buddies to Super Buddies, pretty much. Those are all the movies that Disney had their hands on when it came to the Buddies franchise. They didn't have their hands on the original 5 films, including the original Air Bud. But the same people who made that first Air Bud movie are coming back to do this movie, which is why I feel like having Josh Fram be the father of this Jacob kid makes the most sense, especially if it's still taking place in Fernfield, Washington, which is where the whole series mostly takes place. I think having Josh be the father, and even though it means his character is dead in the universe, I think bringing back the original actors from the original films, like, to be fair, the only actors who they could bring back to play the mom are Jackie Fram, even though it would mean she's a grandma in a way. I think that would be interesting to see her, or even Andrea, or even Noah show up in this movie, as sort of nostalgic cameos in a way. Now, as to who Jacob's mother could be, who knows? If it turns out to be that Josh Fram is his father, maybe he ended up getting with that girl during the 3rd Air Bud movie, World Pups, and who's from England. Who knows? Maybe that's who he got engaged with, or maybe he met another girl when he ran off to college. Who knows what happened? But it does seem like if they make Josh Fram the father and bring back some of the original characters from the original film, like Andrea all grown up, maybe even Noah all grown up in a way. He's probably a young adult by this point. Because to be fair, it's been almost 30 years. If this does take place basically 30 years after the events of the original Air Bud, that would make the most sense, because think about it. We know that Josh went off to college a few years after the events of the original film. Like, he was in middle school, I think, during the first film, and by the 4th film, 7th Inning Fetch, he's going to college. And I think the 7th Inning Fetch movie came out in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what, 5 years? So that would make the most sense if not long after that 4th film came out, maybe he met a girl at college, they got married, and like I said, it probably took them a while before he passed away and had their kid Jacob. Again, I'm really looking forward to this movie after this announcement, and let me know what you guys think about a nostalgic sort of revival to the Air Bud franchise. And like I said, I will probably still do my review of the other films, including the Buddies movies eventually. So I will see all of you guys in the next video.